Hi guys, welcome to Kate's Fashion Flips. In today's video, I'm going to go through 1 week of my online sales as a part-time online clothing reseller between the dates of August 31st through September 6th. I have 1 sale on Depop and then a few on Mercari and then obviously a bunch on Poshmark and eBay. But Poshmark has actually slowed down a lot for me. I think that might just be because of the transitional season we're in. I don't know. I was expecting sales to boost in September, but they've actually been worse. I'm hoping though that tomorrow, which I believe is the day that the new price for shipping is going to go down, that tomorrow my sales are going to boost because everyone's going to be so happy about the cheaper shipping price that my sales are going to boost. So I hope and I wish that on everyone for good sales on Poshmark going forward in this lower sales season. At least it seems like I'm having lower sales, so I assume other people are having lower sales too. With that being said, let's dive into my sales.
All right, guys, starting off with Mercari today, like we always do, I actually have 3 sales on Mercari from this week, which is crazy and very unusual. That never happens to me. I think that Mercari has been running a lot of sales, but I've also been very good with cross-listing consistently, so that might be helping me in Mercari's algorithm. This first sale is an Eddie Bauer blue down-filled outdoor winter packable hooded puffer coat size 2XL. In my description, I put the keywords warm, neutral, and casual. I paid $5 for this at an estate sale. It sold for an offer of $36. That was an offer that I received. I had it listed for $45 and $36 was a very reasonable offer. That makes my profit $27.40. Finally got my Google Sheets fixed, so now I know my exact profit. And this took 124 days to sell. This had a lot of good factors. Eddie Bauer isn't necessarily a brand I look out for, but there can be certain things in the brand that sell well. This coat had good factors like it being down-filled and a size 2XL. And we are in the right season as well for it to sell, although it took 124 days. It's sold now probably because we are approaching fall and winter, although where I live, it is still very, very hot outside. This next sale is this new Gap black pink button front flowy casual knee length dress size 10. In my description, I only put 1 keyword, modest. Well, there you go. Usually I put more than that, but I paid $4.50 for this at Uptown Cheapskate. It sold for my full asking price of $25, and that makes my profit $18. This took only 49 days to sell, which is really good. This was new with tags. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have gotten it because Gap isn't a super special brand, and this wasn't necessarily an extra beautiful style or anything. It did retail for $70, though. Print was beautiful and cool, but I didn't know how to describe it. It's not necessarily geometric, but it's not floral. So I didn't really talk about the print. But yeah, happy for that Gap sale. I don't sell Gap a lot just because it is like a mall brand. It's kind of like, I think Gap is owned by J. Crew, but I don't know. I just don't sell it a lot. But new with tags is a whole different story when it comes to a lot of different brands. It can elevate if it's going to sell or not. So this last sale on Mercari is this Lululemon gray heathered active athleisure fitness healthy heart pullover size 10. In my description, I put the keywords workout, gym, and comfy. I also had this description, which I gotten somewhere online. I actually never ever find Lululemon at the thrift store. Very, very rarely. I've found it occasionally at the bins. Actually, I just recently went to the bins and I found, I think, 2 Lululemon pieces, but I never find it at the thrift store. And usually I never find it at the bins either, but recently I went to a yard sale and I picked up a bunch of Lululemon. And it does not sell like it used to. It's definitely a bread and butter brand now, but I feel like it can sell quickly as long as you price it well and competitively. So I paid $5 for this, which I actually only paid $3, but when I went to that yard sale, there were a few things that I bought that I took home and they had flaws beyond repair. So I just added the cost of goods of the flawed item to items that were good. So cost of goods for this item, $5, sold for $20, which was an offer that I got, making my profit $13. And I do think I could have sold it for my full asking price of $25, but the offer came in 3 days after being listed, and I'm all about a quick flip. So I did accept that. Yeah, just happy for this sale. I feel like when Lululemon has the pull tag still, it helps it sell because people can look at the material, and it also makes it seem like the item hasn't been worn as much. And so that is the best when Lululemon still has the pull tag. It's also easier to find when it has the pull tag at the thrift store. Moving on over to Depop, we only have one sale. Very rare to have more sales on Mercari than Depop for 1 week. This is an unbranded dark purple top grain leather gold hardware thin textured belt size 34. In my description, I put the keywords going out, casual, and classic. There was a little bit of discoloration on the metal part, but I don't think it matters that much. And I think, this wasn't the one with the brand. I have this other belt that I have for sale that has a brand and I cannot make it out in the leather, but this one was pretty much unbranded. I actually got it at the Goodwill outlet. This particular day at the Goodwill outlet, I found 3 really high quality leather belts all in the same bin, and it's super lightweight at the bins, so I only paid $1 for this belt. It sold for an offer of $14. That makes my profit $11.99, and this only took 13 days to sell. A good quality leather belt is always going to sell, in my opinion. If you can pick it up for cheap and it's in good condition, you can flip it. All right, moving on over to Poshmark. I have not very many Poshmark sales at all, honestly. Poshmark has been extremely slow, and I'm hoping that sales pick up once we have the new shipping policy in place, although I still do need to call the USPS number to get some Ground Advantage free shipping supplies, but it just feels like another task, right? Kind of tedious, but this is a Maeve Anthropologie green-white cloud print, 3/4 sleeve, necktie blouse, size medium. In my description, I put business, casual, feminine, and artsy. I actually got this not Depop, excuse me. I got this on Whatnot, and it was this girl's first live. You can find some really great stuff on Whatnot. It was this girl's first live. She had this running for $3. No one else bid. I bid on it for $3. So the $3 plus shipping makes my cost of goods for this blouse $7.78, and it sold for my full asking price of $25, which was actually pretty surprising to me. And it only took 31 days, which is even more surprising. And that makes my profit $12.22. Interestingly enough, as I was setting up for this What Sold video, I noticed this listing and this photo. This looks like the girl from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I think that's what the show's called. I watched it several years ago, like 1 or 2 seasons. I ended up not liking the show very much. But it looks like an as seen on TV blouse, which I think is always cool, right? Seeing something that was worn on a celebrity and then you selling it yourself. When I was doing research into stock photos for this blouse, I did not come across that photo. So I wonder where the person who listed that blouse this blouse found that stock photo. All right, let's move on now to the next Poshmark sale. We don't have very many, so it won't take long to get through Poshmark. Next, we have this Moschino. I think I'm saying that correctly, but I could be incorrect. Couture, black multicolor, unique maximalist silk mini tank dress, size extra small. Excuse me, my allergies are kind of bad right now. I'm dying a little bit. In my description, I put the keywords designer, party, and avant-garde. There was a little bit of fading on this dress, and there was also a fabric imperfection on the shoulder. I mean, it was very minimal, but I like to be transparent with my potential customers. I wasn't sure how to describe the print on this. It kind of had price tags, I think. I don't know. It kind of reminded me of a comic book. So I didn't really describe the print on this one, but I paid $3 for it at a yard sale, the same yard sale that I got that Lululemon gray shirt that sold on Mercari. And I had it listed for $40, but I did accept a $25 offer just because of the wear on this dress. And that makes my profit $16. And I also accepted that $25 offer because it only took 3 days to sell. So that Lululemon gray shirt that I sold in Mercari that I also got from the yard sale, the same yard sale that I got this dress from, both of them took 3 days to sell. So I'm very, very happy with that. I always have a mix of items that took forever to sell and then items that didn't take very long to sell. This next sale is a pair of Vionic Brown Blondes Lizard Print Shiny Ortho Heel Allura Ballet Flats, size 8.5. In my description, I put the keywords ballet core, kid core, arch support, comfortable, flexible everyday, teacher twee, coquette, girly, feminine, and minimalist. wow, I put a lot for this pair of shoes. I paid $6 for these. I had them listed for $25, which was a dropped price. Prime Lister sent out a $22 offer, which I believe is 10% off, and they sold for $22, making my profit $11.60. And these took 217 days to sell. Bionic can be a good brand to resell, but it's very style dependent. Honestly thought these would do better than, or would sell faster and for more money than they did, just because they're a very classic style, very neutral, and I feel like flats are very in right now. These also have like a tiny, tiny wedge though. When it comes to shoes in my inventory, I do not have my shoes divided up into different SKUs. I just have them all on racks in my husband's office, and he's fine with that because he just only cares about his computer and such. So I have racks of my shoes in his office, and I don't have them marked with SKUs and everything. So usually how I find the pair of shoes on my Google sheet is by typing in the exact style name of the shoes. So when I wrote these down on my Google sheet, when I listed them, I put Allura in my title. And then when I wrote down that they sold, I also put Allura, or I typed in Allura again to find these shoes. So really happy with that system. Maybe one day we'll have a SKU system for my shoes, but for now I don't. It does get kind of hard though, because there are certain shoe brands that I often pick up, and I can't always find a style name. And so sometimes I just have to like scroll through my Google sheet until I find the pair of shoes. So that might have to change if it gets too tedious to do after a while. So this is another thing from that yard sale. Lets you know why I was so excited about that yard sale haul a couple of weeks ago. This is an Eileen Fisher cream, 100% silk, embroidered lightweight long jacket, size large. In my description, I put the keywords quiet luxury, neutral, capsule wardrobe, casual, and mature. I paid $3 for this. It sold for an offer of $25. I had it listed for $35, but I did accept that $25 offer, making my profit $17. And the reason I also accepted that $25 offer was because it only took 3 days to sell. And I like moving things quickly. Like I said, I didn't want to steam this, so I didn't. And it's also silk, 100% silk, so I didn't want to risk it. So I didn't steam it, and it didn't seem to impact the sale. I probably could have gotten more money had I held out, but I'm all about a quick flip. Like I've said 10,000 times now. All right, we have one more sale on Poshmark. I used to do so well. Like I hit a point in Poshmark where I had like $500 pending in my balance, which was the highest I'd ever had. And I felt like I was really doing well as a reseller. And now I list even more and even more consistently than I did back then. And I cannot get a pending balance of more than like $300, if that, right? Which, I mean, some people might find amazing, but for the amount of work that I put in and compared to how I used to be making sales, it's pretty discouraging. So like I said, I'm hoping with the shipping update that maybe my lower dollar items will sell more because shipping will be less expensive. I don't know. But this last sale on Poshmark is this Boston Proper orange blue animal print summer Caribbean mini dress, size 8. In my description, I put the keywords tropical, vacation, flowy, and Hawaii. I paid $9 for this at Savers thrift store. It sold for $30. I believe I had it listed for maybe 40, maybe 45. I think I had it listed for 45, and I accepted a $30 offer, making my profit $15, and this took 17 days to sell. I did accept that offer because we are headed out of summer, and it was a relatively quick flip. I've found Boston Proper new with tags one other time, and it actually happened to be at the same Savers thrift store, so I don't know where this Savers thrift store is getting all its new with tags Boston Proper, but this one luckily was only priced at $8.50, and then with tax around $9, but I was so glad I was able to find a stock photo for this dress, and I'm very happy for this sale. Boston Proper is it's a hit or miss brand for me too. Like I've sold it a few times, but I also have a few pieces from Boston Proper that have been sitting for me. So it's kind of like that for any brand, right? It's very style dependent. It's not just about the brand. I mean, there are some brands where everything in that brand will sell regardless of whatever it is. But most brands, it has to be a mix of the brand and the style of the item that you are going to sell. All right, ending off with eBay now. We have a lot of sales, so buckle up. This is going to be great. So this is a Saucony Men yellow chrome Hyo Grid Triumph 4 running tennis shoe sneakers, size 10.5. In my description, I put the keywords athletic, fitness, workout, gym, and comfortable. I actually got these at the Goodwill outlet for $4. And I originally marked them up more, but then I think I lowered the price to $20 because they've been sitting for a while, and they sold for my full asking price of $20, making my profit $11.20. These did take 271 days to sell, though. These didn't have any holes or anything. The tread was still pretty good, but as you can see here in this photo, there was some marks. Oh yeah, and the insoles were missing. And the white sole bottom rim area was a little dirty. I have never found Sauconys since picking these up. I have not found them at yard sales. I have not found them at thrift stores. I have not found them at the Goodwill outlet. I know it's a good brand to resell in certain styles, but I have not found it at all. So that's kind of sad, but it is a good brand to be on the lookout for. I've just only found it once, and that one time now it has sold. All right, next sale we have is another Eileen Fisher sale. This went for a lot less than I wanted it to, but I've also had it for a while, and I want to move inventory out. So this is an Eileen Fisher taupe gray Italian yarn, open knit, wonder scallop shirt, size small. In my description, I put the keywords baggy boho beach, resort wear, swimsuit cover-up, quality neutral travel, mature sheer, oversized lock and look, fairy, angel core, Y2K, and half sleeve. Sometimes I don't know what I'm thinking when I put in all these keywords. I'm like on an acid trip or something. I paid $6 for this at a Savers thrift store. I did accept a $14 offer, which makes my profit only $4.64, but I had this blouse for 366 days. I don't know. It said made of Italian yarn, but I didn't know the material makeup. Usually Eileen Fisher sells better in the larger sizes, or it can sell well in the smaller sizes if the material is good. I actually don't find Eileen Fisher that often. I know some people find it often and it's a good bread and butter for them, but I really don't. So when I find Eileen Fisher, I get excited, even though it doesn't really sell for that much, unless you have like a really nice piece or something that's new with tags. This next sale is this Daily Practice Anthropologie pink horseshoe oversized lounge sweatshirt size extra large. In my description, I put the keywords sporty casual, travel, and on the go. I also got this paragraph from Anthropologie's website to put in the description because I like to add as much information as I can because I feel like that helps me make a sale. Since this was a size extra large, it had a chance of selling over other Anthropologie pieces. I've never found Anthropologie, I believe, in a size larger than a size large. So that's great. But I probably could have gotten my full asking price of $25. I did accept, or maybe I sent it out, but it sold for $20. And I paid $3. That makes my profit $12.20. But this only took 8 days to sell, so I'm pretty happy about that. Next sale is another thing from that yard sale. The yard sale that keeps on giving. This is a wool overs brown merino wool cashmere quiet luxury turtleneck sweater size large. In my description, I put the keywords preppy, classic, minimalist, and capsule wardrobe. I paid $3 for this. It sold for an offer of $25, making my profit $16. And this only took 3 days too. I'd never heard of the brand Wool. I think it's called Wool Overs. Yeah, Wool Overs. But I saw that it was in really good condition and that it was made of cashmere and merino wool. So I thought this has got to be something. And then I looked up on their brand's website and they were actually retailing for a pretty good amount. But regardless of the brand, this would have sold because of the nice material makeup and because of the condition. So I would definitely pick that up again. And yeah, did I say it took 3 days to sell? 3 days to sell. So that's great. Next sale here on eBay is a Cozy Earth pair of joggers that I've sold a few times now. This is a pair of Cozy Earth dark gray bamboo, soft, smooth, comfy, stretched jogger pant, size 2XL. In my description, I put the keywords neutral cooling, elastic waistband, lounge pants, and lounge wear. I've been letting these lounge pants go for more than I would, or less than I would like because I have so many of them. And so I've already made all my money back from this huge Cozy Earth sourcing trip. So I'm happy to be moving the Cozy Earth inventory, even if it's for lower than I would want. For context, a year ago, or more than a year ago now, I went sourcing at this thrift store and they had a butt ton of Cozy Earth stuff and I bought it basically all of it. I just left behind anything that had a noticeable flaw, and I think it was only like one or two things. But I paid $6 for this. I believe I accepted an $18 offer. Not sure on my profit because I don't have every Cozy Earth piece individually written down in my Google Sheet. But I do know that this took more than a year to sell, which is totally fine because I've sold a few of these already. But the thing is that I don't know if the size 2XL if it's helping or hindering it, because Cozy Earth is a pretty good bolo pajama / loungewear brand. I don't know if it is anymore though. When I did the research a couple months ago, it was a good brand. So I don't know how good it is now, but I think it's still pretty good. All right, next sale shocked me by how fast it sold. This is an Athleta Pink Fitness stretchy ultra high rise elation 7/8 leggings size medium. In my description, I put the keywords athleisure, active, athletic, everyday exercise, fitness, travel, and comfy. I paid $3. Yes, $3 for these at the same yard sale. They sold for my full asking price of $25. I actually sent somebody an offer of $20 once I got a watcher, and then someone, I don't know if it was them or someone else, but they sold for my full asking price of $25, making my profit $16. And this only took 2 days to sell, which I was really surprised by because in my experience, Athleta takes a while to sell, but this was still on their website. I think it's a very recent style. I was also just concerned about the fact that it was a color pink, and I wasn't sure how many people wanted to wear like solid pink colored leggings. All right, this was such a cute cardigan. This is a loft light blue, colorful, floral embroidered dainty spring cardigan size small. In my description, I put the keywords lightweight, girly, coquette, kindergarten teacher, layering, and twee. I don't usually buy the brand Loft, okay? But this was so pretty, and it actually turned out to be a recent style. I was able to find a stock photo, and I think it was still on their website. Sold out, but still on their website. And I just thought it was so dainty and cute. I loved the embroidered flowers, so I knew I wouldn't sell it for much, but I had to get it from the Goodwill outlet. I paid $2 for it. It sold for an offer of $12, making my profit $7.12. And this took 116 days to sell. What would you know? We have another same yard sale trip sale. This is a Vince brown white polka dot 100% silk long sleeve satin elegant blouse size large. In my description, I put the keywords classic, preppy, going out, business casual, teacher, and feminine. I bought this for $3 and I had it listed for $35. And then I got an offer of like $21 right away. And I was thinking, no. I'm going to counter at 24. Or I think I countered even higher, like at 28. And then they countered 24. And I was just like, take it. That makes my profit $15.24, and this took 1 day to sell. I also have another Vince 100% blouse for sale on my online stores, but I think it's a smaller size. And I think brown is a really coveted color right now because we're moving into fall, and brown and kind of oranges, but mostly brown. Like brown is the it color for this time of year. Next sale is a Urban Outfitters purple denim fitted button-up sleeveless mini dress size 4. In my description, I put the keywords casual and grunge. I bought this at Uptown Cheapskate for $3.50. I had it listed for $25 and I got an $18 offer, but I thought, okay, I'll just accept it. You see a theme here, right? I just like to accept offers that are reasonable. And I thought that was reasonable-ish. That makes my profit $10.18, and this took 70 days to sell. That photo right there was not a stock photo. It was a photo of some girl who was selling this exact same dress on Depop. And so I thought, don't mind if I do. Because I feel like when somebody sees an item of an outfit or a piece of clothing being worn on someone and see how it looks on someone, they're more incentivized to buy it. So this is the North Face black brown suede waterproof heat seeker chill cat 3 boots size 7. In my description, I put the keywords snow boots, work boots, active wear and outdoor. I also had this little paragraph of information, which I got somewhere online. I paid $10 for these, and comps looked around $30 to $40, but these were a really small size. Like a size 7 men's foot is pretty small. I think a size 7 men's foot is a size woman's 9. So yeah, it's pretty small. So I did accept a $25 offer, making my profit $9, and these took 230 days to sell. When I was pulling these out to put them in a box and ship them out, the suede had more wear than I remember, but you can see the wear in the photos. It's just, you just have to, make sure that you're looking out for it. All right, next sale. We have this Odin blue multicolor geometric flowy going out feminine artsy blouse size 10. In my description, I put the keywords colorful, casual, lightweight, business casual, and art to wear. I thought this blouse was beautiful, and I am a sucker for the brand Bowden. I paid $4 for this blouse. It sold for an offer of $19, making my profit $10.44, and this only took 45 days to sell. Usually Bowden is kind of a slow mover for me, but this blouse surprisingly sold quickly. This next sale is pretty low dollar, but I got it at that same yard sale and I brought it home and I realized, don't know how I didn't realize this at the yard sale, but there were tons of holes, probably like 8 holes. So I titled this listing Smart Wool Gray Men's Long Sleeve Merino Wool. Oh wow, I totally misspelled that. I put Woo Nylon. It was supposed to say wool nylon. Anyway, outdoor base layer shirt size. Oh my goodness, I don't even have the size. Man, this was a bad listing. I was trying to be quick with it because I was like, the profit on this is going to be so bad, but I should have been more careful. In my style keywords, I put camping, fishing, and hiking. I paid $2 for this. I just listed it for 10 because all those holes. It actually got a ton of attention right away. Sold for $10, like I said, making my profit $5.60. Not too shabby, honestly, for such a flawed item. And this only took 5 days to sell. I wonder if I could have even sold it for 15, but I'm really happy that it sold quickly. All right, you guys, we still have so many more. I had to flip over to my next page in my notebook. We still have this many more, which I'm not complaining about. So this one is a vintage lice J, black floral, colorful knit, button-up cardigan sweater size large. In my description, I put the keywords multicolored, cozy, grandma core, garden, warm, unique, and one of a kind. I paid $3 for this at an estate sale when I was out of town. It sold for an offer of $18, making my profit $10.68. This took 420 days to sell, which I was honestly really surprised by because this was in excellent condition, a size large, and I thought it was so freaking cute. But sometimes you just think something will sell quicker than it does, and it doesn't. All right, this next sale is this Keen black gray waterproof 200-gram insulation outdoor hiking Betty boots size 8. In my description, I put the keywords camping, mid-calf, warm, tread, grunge, and gorbcore. I paid $6 for these at the Goodwill outlet. I find Keen a lot at the Goodwill outlet. It's great, but these were a more substantial Keen shoe, which is extra great. They sold for $32, making my profit $18.32. These took 167 days to sell, though. Actually, I had listed these 167 days ago, and very soon after, I think it was a couple of days, they sold for my full asking price of $45. But then someone canceled the order on Poshmark, so that was really sad. But they sold on eBay now for $32, which is actually a pretty high sale price compared to all my other average sale prices. So we have next this Sundance Pink Soft Silk Blend Stretchy Homestead Henley Sweater size large. In my description, I put the keywords edged, curled hems, winter warm outdoor, round neck, and travel. This sweater was very pilly, and I was trying to depill it back when I had a very crappy sweater shaver. My husband worked on it. I worked on it. Probably spent way too long on it. And so we just ended up leaving it kind of hilly. I paid $2 for it at the Goodwill outlet. It sold for an offer of $16, making my profit $10.16, and this took 312 days to sell. Sundance, I don't know, it doesn't really do that well. It's a good bread and butter brand, but it can be a long haul and a slow mover. Next sale is this J. Jill cable knit thick warm log and look casual classic cardigan size 3X, which is so good. In my description, I put the keywords cozy neutral winter, fall, cute, and quiet luxury. I paid $7 for this cardigan. It only sold for $22, which was less than I'd like to get. I would have liked to get more, especially because it was a thick, chunky cable knit sweater and a size 3X, but it's okay. It makes me profit $9.72, and this took 122 days to sell. Next item is a Free People dress, which isn't anything amazing. It was just this very lightweight orange kind of tie-dye maxi dress. And when someone was interested in this dress, they asked me if it had stretch in it. So I was messaging with them, and they said they were looking for an orange maxi dress. And so I'm glad I could help them. This is the Free People orange tie-dye lightweight boho hippie maxi dress size medium. In my description, I put the keywords Bohemian Beach Casual Vacation in Hawaii. I paid $5 for this dress at Uptown Cheapskate. I sent an offer of $26 and it sold, making my profit $14.76. And this took 22 days to sell. We actually have another pair of those Cozy Earth joggers. Same style, same exact piece. Same exact listing. But these ones sold for 20. So they sold for more than the other ones, which only sold for 18. I won't read the title again. I won't read the description again. But I paid $6 for them, like with the other one. Not sure my exact profit, but happy to have, another bread and butter sale added into the mix. All right, next sale is this dress, which is a vintage connected apparel, white lace floral, very romantic dress, size 20W. In my description, I put the keywords 80s, short sleeve, fully lined, dressy, church flowy, unique, formal, and romantic. I paid $5 for this at the Goodwill outlet. I really only paid like $4, but again, probably had a loss from that trip. And it sold for $22, making my profit $11.72, and this took 248 days to sell. 2 more sales for today's video. We have this Peruvian connection dress, which I actually sourced on Depop, and I don't remember how much shipping was or how much it cost. I think that I wasn't refunded my shipping costs, but I did buy this, but I got it home and it had a big flaw on the skirt, 2 large yellow marks. So I asked the seller, let's see, where is it? Right here, there's 2 little yellow marks. They kind of blend in, but not really. I asked the seller if she would sell them, or if she wanted me to if I could return them, and she would give me my money back. And she said, hey, just keep it. And then she gave me a return. Or she gave me a refund. So that's great. This is a Peruvian Connection black multicolor long sleeve boho modest midi dress, size small. In my description, I put stretchy, mature, feminine, lightweight, artistic, and sophisticated. I paid $8 for this dress because, like I said, I wasn't sure if I paid for shipping, even though she refunded me for the item I paid. I wasn't sure. And so paid $8, sold for $20, making my profit $7.20. This took 165 days to sell. All right, I'm getting tired, which is good because we're on the last one, so I can go to bed after this. This is an Eileen Fisher black suede minimalist classic Hutton ankle strap flats, size 6. In my description, I put the keywords contemporary, neutral, feminine, going out, dainty, business casual, office, and career. I paid $3 for these. They sold for an offer of $19, making my profit $11.44. This took 132 days to sell. Oh, I'm frozen. That's okay. We're at the end of our video anyway, but I just noticed. Maybe I've been frozen for a couple minutes. But I have sold a pair of Eileen Fisher boots before, and now these. And I actually got this pair of cute kind of Diorcé slip-on wedge Eileen Fisher sandals a couple months ago, and there was this little dot, and I tried cleaning it, but I used too much water, and so I kind of ruined the suede. So be careful with suede if you're ever cleaning it. But that's it for today's video.
That's it for this what sold video. If you liked this video and you found it informative, please leave a thumbs up, a comment, a share. Really helps out my channel, and I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.